All right, Arnold presses for shoulders. This is a good exercise for when I want people to work their shoulders, but also do something different than just a normal shoulder press. Maybe get a bit more shoulder motion if they have tight shoulders, or they just have, need more shoulder work. I'll have them do this. It's usually not my primary exercise that I would go to, but it is one that I will throw in for people on occasion. My dogs are being loud. The one thing I do it, I think, slightly differently than other people. And I personally like it this way. This is the way I've sort of found to do it that works best for me. And so I prefer clients do it this way. Obviously, everyone's going to be a little bit different, but this is what I want. So you're going to grab some dumbbells. I'm doing these pretty light just to demonstrate here. All right, so you're going to start in sort of a normal pressing position, right? Normal press to start. As you come down, you want to kind of towards the bottom, you're basically straight down in normal pressing like position until the bottom. And then here, you're rotating in. Now, something that I like to do here is that if you just do this, like if you watch a lot of people do normal Arnold press, they'll just bring it in like this. Obviously, these are big dumbbells, so it's a little difficult to bring them in as far as you would want, right? But if you bring them in, they just kind of do this, and then they press. This isn't doing fucking shit if you do it that way, right? So don't do it that way. My wife's giving me a look for swearing, but don't do it that way because it's fucking shit. So, press here. When you come back together, lift, right? Lift your elbows up, right? So at least you're getting some contraction in your upper chest and anterior delts. I am a person that doesn't believe you need to do a lot of direct anterior delt work because your anterior delts will get so much work just from any sort of pressing you're doing, incline bench, flat bench, shoulder pressing, right? All of it's going to hit anterior delts a bit, no matter how good you are at isolating. You're not going to avoid hitting some anterior delts. This is going to give them a bit of direct work, but it's minimized. And it's also going to contract your upper chest, right? So you'll notice the difference between this versus this, right? So I prefer to get that upwards, like pulling your elbows up. Now, I do have to, for these dumbbells that are so big, I have to angle out. I wouldn't recommend doing that. I would recommend sort of trying to keep your forearms vertical, right? With, perpendicular to the floor, perpendicular to the ceiling, as you bring your dumbbells together. I would ideally you would use dumbbells that are smaller than this or not as wide, right? So you could get them closer together. If you're limited, you could still do with these. Do what you can, but I would say try to use dumbbells that are maybe a little less wide than these, if possible. Obviously, as you get stronger, get heavier weights. You're going to end up with bigger dumbbells no matter what, and so that kind of how close you can get the dumbbells together will be a little limited. I will say at a certain point, right, you don't need to come all the way to here, right, but here is fine, right? So somewhere in like sort of this to this range is probably where you want to be. And that's how you do Arnold presses.